Welcome to the podcast Optimize Your Peak Potential, the show where we dive into the science of optimizing your life to reach your highest potential. I'm your host, Bentley Carter, and together we'll explore ideas and topics on how we truly can optimize every situation in our life to become better people. So, like it says in the title description, it's an introduction. Introduction of why optimize. And I also wanted to talk about myself and my story to encourage others to follow me along my journey of optimizing my life to become my best self. So the word optimize, why I chose the word optimize. Optimize is making the best out of every situation in your life. The true definition of optimize is make the best or most effective use of a situation, opportunity, or resource. So it sounds pretty explanatory, right? But why optimize? Many of us are doing great things. Many of us are, working and we have a job that we love. Many of us are going to the gym and staying healthy, being fit. But we can always do something more. We can always add something more into our lives, whether that's, becoming friendlier to other people, giving more than what we receive, whether it's mastering everyday tasks in our lives, throughout the day, in our job, in the gym, in the house, whatever it may be. So, in this podcast, we're going to be discussing topics and ideas such as mastering productivity, self discipline, how to gain trust in others, and all of these things. And I am in no way an expert in any of these topics that we're going to explore. No way I'm an expert, but as I do research and study and apply these things that I learn into my life, I wanted to share with others so that you guys, whoever is listening or watching, can also apply these things into your lives and become better people. So optimize is a pretty self-explanatory word, but I chose it because when we optimize and we achieve many great things in our lives, we reach milestones in our lives that bring us great success. When we really want to work hard towards something and we achieve whatever we are working for, we feel good. We feel good inside. And when we optimize those things, that drives us to want to optimize other situations and aspects in our lives. Whether it's, we go to the gym every day, we go a whole week going to the gym every single day, we feel great, right? We feel great. We optimized every chance, every situation, and we feel like we can keep doing that. And when we go to the gym, we feel like, nothing can stop us. We're getting stronger, we're getting bigger, we're getting more fit. But other things also apply to that. When we do that, we're going to have motivation to eat better, to stay fit, because, things go hand in hand. When we're optimizing our peak potential in the gym, we should also be optimizing our peak potential eating healthy, being fit. And in this podcast, we're going to be exploring topics like that, such as productivity, mastering productivity, self-discipline, you know, um, optimizing every chance we get in everyday aspects in our lives. So, an introduction of who I am and kind of why I wanted to make this podcast. So, like I said, I'm your host, Bentley Carter. I am only 21 years old. I am a full time electrician and I am from Canada. I was born and raised in Canada, went to Idaho for my senior year of high school. I later left North America to move down to Argentina for 2 years. Well, I wasn't there for 2 years, but I moved down there for a short period of time to serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm a member of that church. And I returned and moved back to Utah and went to school and got married. And life was great and things were going well. And I made mistakes. I made mistakes that cost me. and now I am in this situation where I am out in American Samoa by myself, and I'm working out here actually. I got this great opportunity to work on the construction of a new temple. I'm sure many of you guys have heard of what a Mormon temple is. That's kind of a general nickname for the church. And I got this great opportunity to come out here and help in the construction of that temple, to be one of the electricians out here. And it was such a great opportunity, and came at a perfect time in my life as I was going through these difficulties and these struggles in my life. And this great opportunity came for me to come out here and work on this temple, right? And start a new life, pretty much. And I thought to myself that I need to really optimize why I'm here and optimize every chance I can get to become a better self on this fresh new start. And that's kind of why I wanted to start this. I've made mistakes. I'm sure many of you have made many mistakes, and I'm sure many of you are achieving great things. And you're already in a good place. Many of you probably have a great job that you love. Many of you are in school and you're achieving great marks. Many of you are probably, thriving. Or some of you may be in a tough situation and you're just looking for some motivation, some tips on how to become better people, tips on how to optimize every chance you get. And so in this show, we'll be diving into the science of things, on how to apply those things into our lives. When we go to the gym, we'll be diving into the science of how to gain muscle, science on how to feel great in our body, how to be fit, whether it's involving outdoor time, 45 minutes every day, or eating better in the house. So we'll be discussing self-discipline and motivation and the science behind that, and I will be giving you guys tips and ideas on how to apply those things into your lives. And I will be applying these things into my life as well, and share experiences that I've had. Hopefully down the road, we'll have some guest speakers on this who are great people. I have some people in mind that I want to bring onto the show. Some psychologists, some people on how to manage our finances, someone on how to own a business, whether that's some of your desires or any of those things. But we will be discussing many of these topics, and I want you guys to comment what you want me to talk about as well. I'll be thinking about things, researching things, finding resources, articles, and things like that to help us learn and help us become better. One great podcast, shout out to this person. I don't know him, but he's very well known for his research and science behind many of these topics that we're going to discuss is Andrew Huberman, Huberman Lab. He has a podcast. You can find it Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, YouTube. But he dives into the science behind all of these things, and I've learned lots from his podcast. And I've actually applied many of the things that he's taught into my life, and I have seen that it really does work. So I'll be discussing, what I learned from his podcast, discussing from the articles that I research on, and many of those other things. So together we'll be learning, applying, and growing, optimizing together. And so I want you guys to give me feedback on what I can improve on, feedback on what you guys want to learn, and together we'll go through this journey. And every week I'll be adding an episode onto this podcast. You can find this podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube. I will add the descriptions. I'll add links in the description, so you guys can access those. And together we'll optimize every chance we get. We'll become better people. we'll reach milestones, we'll reach these markers in our lives that we thought we couldn't. And it will feel great. And, that will give us more motivation to be able to achieve more things, better things, to go out of our comfort zone, to reach things that we never thought we could reach. So thank you for joining. Please stay tuned. Every week I'll be posting a new episode. This was just the introduction of who I am and why I started this podcast and why Optimize. Next week I'll be posting my first real episode with information and resources and ideas for you guys to apply into your life so that we can start this journey together. So thank you. Please stay tuned. Join next week as we discuss our next topic.